Hello there, and welcome to another episode of What Do You Call It podcast. I'm your host, GB. Definitely not re-recording this intro. It's up to you. Might be in the bloopers if you stay to the end. Anyway, today's guest is based in Copenhagen, Denmark, a shining star in the Danish wrestling scene. She lives life one slam at a time. Please welcome Madison Morgan. By the way, that was the part that I fucked up in case the viewers were curious. And something so simple. Anyway, Madison, how are you doing today? You're good.
I'm doing great. What about you?
Yeah, I'm good. I can't complain.
Cool.
Christmas around the corner. Got a busy weekend. Doing a podcast. That was always like doing that. And football, Arsenal as a supporter. We are top of the league. We've just qualified Champions League, so life is pretty
Cool.
good. Pretty good.
Amazing. I'm glad to
But
hear that.
I'm not going to brag about myself because no one cares about me. They care about my
Yeah,
guests,
I
and I think,
do.
oh, thank you, thank you. We're already getting off to a good start. But we want to talk about your wrestling origins, what got you into wrestling, how you became a wrestler, and where you are at in your wrestling journey. But before I do that, normally I rewind the clocks, go back to the beginning, but it's something that I noticed on your social media. It was just purely because I'm a big fan of him, Gangrel. You actually
Oh,
attended
yeah.
his wrestling seminar. A
Yeah.
lot of fans will definitely remember him, especially from the Attitude Era, being the leader of the Brood and associating with Edge and Christian. I've got to
Yeah.
ask you, how was that seminar and how was he overall?
He was really, really nice. He was
Mhm,
so kind. It was a really short seminar because it was right before a show, so it was like an half hour. So we
mhm.
didn't have that much of time, but I really learned a lot from him. He was a really good coach in that few time.
Nice, nice. He's got quite a presence of him, but I've had good things about him. With the teeth and stuff, you think, oh, vampire.
Yeah.
But then you're like, oh, actually, he's a nice person.
Yeah, he was nice.
No, that's good. That's good. So I'm going to rewind the clocks. And Madison, I'd like to know, when did you become a fan of wrestling?
I began to watch Western. It was right before Corona got to be a thing. So it
Hmm.
have been like in 2019, around there. I started watching it. It was a little fun way I got into wrestling actually. Because first of all, I had my friend Jasmine that was watching wrestling, and first I was like, "What the fuck? That is so weird! Like, what the hell are you doing, girl? Don't do that." And then one day I was just sitting in my room scrolling on TikTok, and then I saw
Yeah.
a video with Nikki Bella
Hmm.
that was attacking the Wired Squad. I think TikTok with that, and I was like, "Oh my God, that is so cool! That's what I want to do." And then I just searched on it on YouTube,
Mm.
and I just got really like into it and have watched it since then.
Mm.
So
Kind of fell down that sort of rabbit hole when it comes. YouTube's a dangerous place for that. But Nikki
yeah,
Bella essentially got you into wrestling. But your first thoughts on wrestling, you was like, what the
she
fuck's
was
this?
she was the first one I saw. So she was really nice.
Did you end up, as you got into wrestling, and specifically Nikki Bella, did you ever
Yeah.
watch Total Divas by any chance?
Who?
Total
Sorry.
Divas. It was a show that featured Nikki Bella and the Bella twins, and they were heavily
Um,
promoted on it. It was kind of like a reality show, but based in wrestling.
okay, I don't think I have watched it actually.
You're not missing out, but I can't deny that I haven't watched it. So
Okay, cool.
it's not
I
too
will
bad.
probably go watch it.
Have a little browse of it. If you like it, let me know and let the listeners know.
Yeah, I will.
It's I know someone comments, oh, if you watch it, I don't care, right? It's an easy watch, so it,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. When did you know specifically that you wanted to become a professional wrestler? Was there a specific match, or just as you became a wrestling fan, as your like fandom grew, you was like, okay, I actually want to do this.
I think it was after some few months that I have watching it, and I was like, okay, this is actually pretty cool. And I
Yeah.
was a dancer at that time, and I was like, okay, dancing is really boring right now when I'm looking at Western. So I was like, I want to switch. I want to switch this up. I want to be a wrestler. And then after I think and half year, I was like to my parents, Mom, Dad, I'm fan of wrestling, and they was like, what the hell? Because
Fair
it
enough. I
was
mean, it's a bit of a transition in dancing,
yeah,
and
yeah,
wrestling and
exactly.
elbow drops and
Yeah, so different. So they was like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" And then I was like, "Yeah, I want to do this. Have you
yeah.
seen this? They're so awesome." And then, and then, some few days later, my dad was like, oh, I actually think that one of my childhood friends is a wrestler, and I was like, my eyes was like, oh, what?
Nice.
And then we went to a show, and when I walked in, there was this wrestling ring, and I was
Mhm.
like so amazed,
Was this
and I
the
was like,
first
okay,
Western show that you attended?
yeah,
Oh,
in
nice.
Copenhagen. And I was like, okay, I just want to do this. This is going to be my life. This is what I want. And then 2 weeks later, I think I was to a training, and I was like, okay, definitely, this is definitely what I want.
Mm. With the training, I kind of want to sort of decipher that. It's just quite
Yeah,
funny. Like you just began your journey with hating wrestling, and then you kind of
yeah,
got into it, and then you was originally a dancer, and then you're like, actually, do you know what? I'm going to switch wrestling. I want to do it. Want to get in the ring. When you did begin your training,
yeah.
for the first few weeks, how did you find it in terms of like the not necessarily the damage, but was it taking a toll on you? I mean, mentally and physically as well.
Um, the first part of my training was in another promotion. Now I'm in a new promotion, but
Hmm.
in my old promotion I was in, we actually trained on a mattress. So it was not in the ring. So
Wow,
it was a little bit different in what I was
an actual
thinking.
mattress.
Yeah, it was like mattress.
Yeah.
It was really fun. Like I was 13 in that moment, so I just enjoyed it. Being the only girl also, that was a little bit weird when I
Hmm.
was a dancer before, where this was almost only girls. So that was a switch, but it was really fun.
No,
So
that's fair. I've never heard that before. Like training on the mattress. I mean, I know some people like training like the trampoline, but not like officially and stuff. But that's quite interesting to hear though. Like I just never that kind of like caught my attention now, to be fair. Um
yeah,
so when you took the bumps on the mattress, like did that kind of you know, that didn't hurt at all, did it?
it's a long time ago, but it was like a very soft
Yeah.
mattress. So it didn't hurt at all. Maybe that was also good because of my age and stuff.
Yes, yeah, taking that into consideration. Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
That absolutely makes sense. Hello there. I've got a special announcement for my next guest.
Hello, this is Johners from the Wrestling with Johners podcast, and you're watching, what do you call it, podcast?
He's gonna come on the podcast whether he wants to or not. Watch the podcast, listen to it, get the reference. Yeah. Beginning this wrestling journey and you're training, you're getting used to it, familiarizing yourself with the wrestling moves. When did you make your in-ring debut? So the first ever match that you had with live crowd.
Oh, that was this year actually. The beginning of this
Nice.
year, it was like in April or March.
Hmm.
One of them. I can't remember the exact date. But I remember I feel so excited to go out. I was nervous. I was like stressing around, where's my stuff? Where's my stuff? When do I do my makeup? When do I do this? And when do I do that? I was so stressed. But it was really fun and it went really good.
Nice. Did you win the match, by the way? I gotta ask.
I did. I actually won the match.
Nice.
It
That
was
really
actually,
happens. That really happens. So thumbs up for
yeah.
that.
It was a little bit stressful because it was like we had a singles match that went over to a tag team match. So it was like over 20 minutes,
Mhm.
like in one row,
Is
out in
that the
front of.
match where you're a heel?
Yeah, that I was healed that.
That is that the one on YouTube? That's your first ever match.
Yeah, that was my first ever
Fair
match.
play. Um, just to like direct the audience, the match is on YouTube and I've seen it. I didn't actually realize that's your first ever match. So not only are you doing a singles match and you win, spoiler, fuck's sake. I won't spoil the second match, but you literally wrestled two matches in your first match like consecutively.
Yeah.
Fair play, and it was good as well.
Thank you. Like I think I have become much better now, but
Yeah.
I think like when I look back on it, it was really good because I didn't have that much of training in that time.
Hmm.
So I think it was good.
No, I thought it was good. But one that I noticed, like in like seeing your other like matches and your content as well, I feel like you're a better baby face. The fans want to
Yeah,
cheer
yeah,
you, and I know
yeah,
it's really behind you as well. And I think your selling's really good. You're not afraid to take bumps. I noticed that, and like, especially in the first year in wrestling.
yeah.
Um, what actually kind of I want to know about the Danish wrestling scene. I don't get to speak about it a lot, but I'll be very interested to hear about it from you, someone who's kind of in the center of it. and making a name for yourself. What is it that makes the wrestling scene in Denmark stand out to you?
Something I really enjoy by the Danish wrestling scene is that most of the places that we are in is like with a standing crowd.
Mhm.
And I think that does a lot because it feels like the crowd is just so much closer to you and you can
Yeah.
feel them, and it's just the energy, the atmosphere around everything in the show is just amazing with the crowd. But we have been in so many different venues, so I think
Mm.
it's very different from where you are. So, but
No, that's
I
cool.
really enjoy the crowd in Denmark.
I've noticed they're quite rowdy and they like to
Yeah.
shout a lot during the matches as well. But they like to cheer you. I mean,
Yeah.
when you have been a hill, they boo you. But I just think naturally it's more organic. You can just kind of see it there.
Yeah.
You know the company that you wrestled for in Denmark? Was that the company you wrestled for in Finland as well? Helsinki? Was that different?
It's another promotion in
Oh, okay.
Finland.
How was it wrestling in Finland, by the way?
I actually wasn't wrestling in Finland.
Oh, okay.
I was booked in Finland, and then like a few weeks before, I got a message. Oh, sorry, we thought you was over 18, and you have to
Yeah.
be 18 to wrestle on our shows. So we have to take you off the match card.
Ah,
That was pretty sad,
yeah.
but I was still going because it was an all-women show. There was some seminars that I attended to, and I learned a lot from it, but I couldn't
Mm.
whistle, so that was a little sad.
Got the experience though under your belt. So, just going up there and sort of seeing it like how wrestling works in another country and getting to meet new talent as well. And the seminar, like you mentioned as
Yeah,
well. One thing I noticed as well about your in-ring style is your finisher. It's
yeah,
like a mix of Spike Dudley's acid drop and Trish Stratus's Stratusfaction. So it's
yeah,
like, go off the ropes and then you go backwards as opposed to like a bulldog. I
yeah.
want to know, how did you come up with that unique finisher?
Boom. That's a long time. I think I saw like a video from a training. Like I saw like two videos, and then I just mixed them up together.
Hmm.
But I'm not sure that I'm the only one using it. There's probably more that used it.
I've seen it from the corner, but I've not
Yeah,
seen
but
it in the mid ropes.
I just think like you can get more like bounce
Mm,
from the ropes, and then I think you're more like central in the wing if you
yeah.
use like the ropes. So I was like, I want to do the ropes instead.
Mm.
So I did that, and I think it works pretty well.
No, it's good. I like it. I like the delivery of it as well. It's just I thought, oh right, Spike Dudley and then Trish and then just combine and then the execution is really good. It's really good. You've wrestled a few names from Scotland, including Sam Taylor, Angel
Yeah.
Hayes, Fulton King, and a friend of the show, by the way, Ruby
Oh,
Roberts, the basic bitch slayer.
yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant nickname. I always have to say that. Um, I want to ask, how were they to work with?
I really enjoyed working with them actually.
Hmm.
They were so nice, and I think we have like me and Angel Hayes. I think we are really good to work together in a match because I think we are like similar in some points, so we know how we want to move in the ring, and I think our coordination of the ring is really good together. So it was really fun to working with her and Sam and Ruby,
Mm.
and
Scotland has a
so.
lot of talent. It's good. It's I've had a few talent from Scotland as well on the podcast, and just you get used to the accent. And I've actually got Scottish like family, so I just love it. They love the wrestling as well. They're pretty cool, and you're doing really well. And I didn't actually know like your first match was this year, well, the beginning of this year, which I
Yeah.
think is awesome. It's just kind of say how much you've really improved and how
Oh,
over you are the crowd. But is there anywhere at the moment you want to wrestle in the next few years in the world?
well, I want to wrestle everywhere if I
Everywhere.
could, actually. Yeah. I really want to go to the UK
Hey.
pretty soon because I think that is one of my goals, like
Mhm.
early girl goals right now. But like my main like stuff is like America and Japan and stuff.
I'm sure you get there. I'm sure you get there. It's
Yeah.
one of those things. If you're patient enough to, it'll be knocking on the door. So I like to ask this fun question. Doesn't have to
Yeah.
be wrestling related. Actually, just before I ask that, I actually want to go back to what you said earlier about your parents being shocked about your switch from dancing to wrestling. Have they seen you wrestle?
Yeah, they have. And they actually really support me in it,
Ah,
so it's so good.
was that in person or just watching it like online?
Or they're watching in person. They
Oh,
go
nice. So you've
to
got them there at the show as well.
they try to go to like all of my shows, like if they can and stuff.
Yeah.
But my grandma, she's going to all the shows, like all the shows in Denmark. She's just wanna go. Like she have drive like 3 hours to watch my show. Like my mom was also with me
Yeah.
that time, but like they drive like 3 hours to watch me, so that was so cool.
That's cool. Shout out to your grandma. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. So she's a massive wrestling fan. Does she probably get into it as well? Like she starts booing, who she's supposed to boo and
She doesn't watch any other wrestling actually. She just
really
comes to be, oh Madison.
starting the
And then
chance.
and then she filmed with her phone, and she's really bad at filming, so she films like this. And when I watch the videos back, you cannot see anything because her phone goes like this.
Oh, bless her. Just like, and she thinks like, it's like, they're like, oh yeah, it looks great.
Yeah.
It's like, you mean well, you mean well. No, that's why I had to kind of go back to that question. But I want to ask you, fun question, doesn't have to be wrestling related. 3 dream dinner guests for your dream party. It can be fiction, non-fictional, it can be anyone, past, present, dead or alive. Doesn't matter. You're the host. 3 guests, and I'd like a short reason as to why you want them there. Go for number 1. Who you bringing?
Oh, this is a really hard question, I think. But I think I want to make my mini me, I'm not that old, but my younger me proud. So I want to have like my 3 like first idols. So it's like Nikki Bella again, Liv Morgan, and Sasha Banks. That was like my first 3 like wrestling idols. So I think I'll probably take them to dinner.
What would you ask them if you was given a chance? Each question, so you get 3 questions then. Nikki Bella, what are you going to ask her? I've actually put you on the spot now, sorry.
Oh, this is so hard. Like, how did you got into wrestling? How did you find your journey?
Yeah.
How did you like evolve yourself like more and more and more? It's just to like make you more like what you call it, outstanding from others, like keeps evolving on yourself.
hmm
Probably something like, oh, uh, um, this is some really hard questions.
Well, it's better than basic ones, isn't it? And it kind of allows you to kind of like take a break from wrestling, but at the same time, it is wrestling related. But you can be like, actually, where'd you like to shop? Where'd you like to eat? That sort of thing.
Oh yeah, I will ask them for their workout plan because I want to work
Yeah,
out WWE superstar.
that's a good question, actually. Yeah, what's your? I mean, I'm not going to ask that. I'm just going to ask about the food. That's the reason why I did the podcast, and I don't get in the ring or attempt it, but I expect everyone that does get in the ring. You mentioned those 3, right? And we mentioned like your past opponents, but is there
Yeah.
anyone in the Danish wrestling scene that hasn't wrestled you that you want to wrestle?
Like in Denmark?
In Denmark, yeah. Just to give
Uh,
them sort of just a shout out on this platform as well. Just because, Denmark might not be known by the listeners on this podcast. Not the country. I mean the wrestling scene.
now I have actually been against mainly like Danish wrestlers. But I would like to go against Pete Phoenix one day. Lunico, and who can we more say? Sime. I think they're 3 I really want to face one day
Mm.
in the
Yeah.
Danish wrestling scene.
Hello there. I've got a special announcement from the next guest.
It's your boy, one half of Act 2, Jan Hudson, and I will be appearing on the What Do You Call It podcast.
You heard. Is there anything you want to promote, anything you want to share, or anything you want to say? Because we are now at the end of the interview.
Something I want to say. I hope like everyone can follow their dreams and get what they want to. Yeah, I
I
think
like
it's
it. Short and
yeah.
sweet, but follow your dreams. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people kind of use this opportunity to like just be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna wrestle you." Like it's just like, oh, fair enough, fair enough. You're a very angry person, but
Also, one more quote: "Do never tap out of your passions."
never tap out your passions. I like
Yes.
it. Very inspirational, very, very knowledgeable, and it feels like you've got the 5-year experience really in the wrestling business. So the knowledge is there. Where can the listeners find you on social media if they want to give you a follow?
My Instagram, I think, is madison.morgan07.
Perfect, perfect. If they've missed that, I'll put your details in the description below, and then they can
Thank you.
catch up with what you're doing on your wrestling journey, see where you're going to be next, and next year as well, actually, because it's 2024. It's near the end of this year.
Yeah.
Time certainly flies by. You have pretty much completed your first year in wrestling, so I want to congratulate you that on your journey. For the listeners out there, if you can like this video, subscribe to the channel, that'd be fantastic. Give Madison a follow, give me a follow, my social media handles also in the description below. But for now, everyone, I hope you all have a great week and enjoy the rest of your day. Hello and welcome to another episode of What Do You Call It podcast. I'm your host, GB. It is the first episode that has been recorded in December, and we're not very far away from Christmas. I hope you are all looking forward to it, as am I, and I hope my guest is. Today's guest, she is based out of Copenhagen, Denmark, a shining star in the Danish wrestling scene. She lives life one slime. I'm going to try that again. Sorry, bear with me. I actually fucked up the intro. Sorry.
That's all
Right. Could do your catchphrase, but fucked up completely.